Hey guys, so today I decided to do the grand finals of the EULCS. This was G2 versus Splice. This is the last game in a 4-game series. G2 end up winning 3-1. And I thought this would be an interesting game to do because you can kind of see the contrast of between a game 1 path and a game 4 path, and between the two regions. So being game 4, this is a lot more. We see a lot more confident pathing coming out of both sides, and not as nervy and as safe as what we saw yesterday from Medios and Sven. Uh, so I want to preface this just by saying, make sure you look at the minimap. Junglers always be looking at the minimap, but also that you can see Elise is starting bot side. Now, Elise as a champion, she's just behind Gragas and Rek'Sai, but she's very gank reliant. She doesn't clear very well compared to the other two, and she doesn't scale very well. She just ends up becoming a stun bot. Um, so when you pick Elise, there's onus on you to be really proactive in the early game, because otherwise you're just going to get destroyed basically. Um, so Trick is starting bot side, but because Splice are going to figure that out. So it's going to tell them where Trick started. So he's trying to mess up their starting. You can see that Shen is in the top lane pretending to be a Gromp. But as soon as G2's bot lane gets to bot late and they don't have an XP lead, Splice is going to know where he started. So I'm going to start these clips off. If I can find them. Alright. So Elise starts bot side, but Splice should know that. Rek'Sai starts top side as per usual. And both these junglers are going to go for full clears. So the early game, being game 4, I think both sides are a lot more confident. And this is the kind of stuff that I like to see out of junglers. I think this is much better than what we saw from Sven and Meteos yesterday. Both sides are going to just do a normal full clear. They're going to rely on their lanes to be able to lane properly. They're not expecting cheese from the other side, from the other jungler. The most interesting part about this is that is in a few minutes. So you have to bear with me, but it does get interesting. So Rex knows exactly what Elise is doing, starting bot side, but none of his lanes really need to be worried. The only person who's really in danger is Ryze, but Vlad doesn't have super kill pressure anyway. You can see now that bot lane is warding both entrances to bot lane. That's because they know that Elise started bot. They don't want her to circle around on the one side gank. But here we see Elise going top side for a normal full clear, and we see Rek'Sai going for bot crab control. Again, this is to further deny potential cheese or potential one-siding from Elise. I think this is really good. This is what I would have liked to have seen Meteos do yesterday. And now he's going to give the blue to Ryze as well. So far, I think Rek'Sai has played the first 3 minutes really well. But I think Elise also has played the first 3 minutes really well because she knows that the other team knows, and so she's not bothering with waiting in bushes. She's just going to go full efficiency, clear as fast as she can, and then she's going to try and make a play. Because she's assuming that Rek'Sai is going to waste his time trying to maybe sit in the bush for a counter gank or do the crab. Crab's not totally efficient, by the way, guys. But here we see Vlad basing. Well, you shouldn't see Vlad basing because you should be watching the minimap. But what we see now is that Shen is pushing in really hard top. So Elise finishes her full clear and she goes top. She's level 4 and Rek'Sai is only level 3. So she has a strength advantage, right? So she's just backing up Shen. Rek'Sai as well did the blue, and then instead of doing his race to Gromp, he walked all the way top to the golems again. We saw this a lot yesterday. All the way top to hold for his Fiora. Again, this is pretty good play from both sides. Trick trying to punish with the wave, but Rek'Sai forgoing his own efficiency in order to prop up his teammate who's under pressure. So I think that's really good. Trick now goes to take the crab as well. This is also good because he's just giving Shen as much support as possible. Shen's winning the lane on his own. Well, winning the lane, pushing it in on his own. So she's just trying to make sure that Rek'Sai can't get this Fiora ahead. I think that Elise should be basing right now. She thinks that she needs to help bot, so she's going to do those cross-map golems again. I think she should have based, but that's beside the point. Rek'Sai now is doing wraiths, but I want you to look at his items. He had about 900 gold because he bought boots, ruby, pink, Well, that's actually about like 800 gold, but I'm sure he had a little bit more than that. Instead of going wards, either Green Smite or Sightstone, and invading right now, which he should be doing with this big Fiora wave, instead he goes this really shitty buy and clears his own jungle. Elise is now going to do another full clear of her jungle without having based, um, and that's really risky by her. If Rek'Sai had bought good items, I mean, even with those items, he could have invaded. And if he went double longswords for a T-Mat, he could have invaded as well. But Elise is going to be able to clear her whole jungle for free without having based, while Rek'Sai has the base advantage. So I think that's really poor from Trashy. I think it's mostly because of his build. If he had built something else, I think he may be more inclined to invade. Here we see their bot lane trying to base. You would have just seen it. And they call Trashy down here to help them base. So he's gonna gank and get their base off. Um, and this essentially what allows Elise to clear top for free. So we see here only heal burned, but Splice do get their bot lane base, which is okay. But Elise Trick got really lucky here, I think, that Trashy wasn't being more proactive because she goes again. She has 28 CS without a base, and she comes in top. Now, this is again a pushing wave that Rek'Sai could have had control over if he had had wards in the top side jungle. Instead, he went bot to help them out, and now he's walking top. A beautiful taunt in front of the creeps, tricks Wunder into not parrying earlier, and they managed to deny Fiora about 8 minions and a cannon creep. So, well, a bit more than 8 minions, sorry. About 2 waves and a cannon creep. So that's huge. Fiora misses out on a lot. Shen has a CS lead now. So really great play there from the Shen mostly. I'm going to pause it here and just talk a little bit about what happened. And that is that Elise went for a really greedy third full clear or second full clear or something. But basically the onus was on Rek'Sai, who has now built a Sightstone anyway, to invade and put the pressure on, having a base advantage. But he didn't do that. He went to go help out his struggling bot lane. And the result was Fiora got super punished when really he should have been using Fiora's pressure to put his own pressure on in the jungle. So yeah, a bit like yesterday where, it's a big game, but in this one where it's game 4, both junglers clear much quicker and much more efficient in the early game than what we saw yesterday. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.